Hello and welcome. Today I will be reviewing the manga Mob Psycho 100, written by One. In 2013, I believe, I think is when it came out. I think it's serialized between 2013 and 2017. So Mob Psycho is the story that follows this psychic, this junior high kid with psychic powers named Mob. The overall story is Mob just kind of wants to just kind of be there. He wants to just be a normal junior high kid and go through normal junior high stuff. And everyone around him is just kind of using him for his powers and just finding ways to exploit him that they can in various ways. Even later, it's not even just his powers, just the fact that he exists is something that he can be exploited for, basically. And so yeah, we get introduced right off the bat to Reagan, who is Mob's quote-unquote mentor. He claims to have these extremely powerful psychic powers that we find out Mob actually has extremely powerful psychic powers. And Reagan's just lying to him, pretending that he's just super powerful. In the beginning, he uses Mob on a job to eradicate a ghost that he just throws table salt at, because he doesn't know what he's doing at all. But Mob just completely annihilates the ghost with his psychic powers, like it's nothing. We also get introduced to the telepathy club pretty early on, how they're about to be disbanded. And just out of nowhere, this guy in the telepathy club's like, hey, I know somebody that, he's not in the club, and he could join, because they need one member to stay a club. And yeah, it's basically just like another group of people just trying to use Mob and take advantage of him. How Reagan is happy that Mob has powers. The guy that brings up that he knows Mob is like, hey, this guy is weird though. He's got these weird psychic powers. He's had them since I've known him in elementary school. And I don't think the other members really believe this guy. And they're just like, shut up. Like, invite him. We need this guy. And, the guy, Mob shows up and he wants to join Reagan. Probably one of my favorite part of this volume altogether is, now that I've went back and read it twice, I love when Reagan and Tomei talk to each other and they just start arguing over Mob. I think it's just so hilarious. It's just, I don't know, that part just cracked me up. And they're just both arguing over both things. All this stuff they're saying to each other is true. And they're arguing over Mob, and he just kind of doesn't even get it. And then, I don't know, it kind of, neither of them win ultimately anyway, because Mob ends up joining the Body Improvement Club. And so not only is he not spending time with Reagan now, he also didn't even help the club stay open, the telepathy club. He did his own thing, because that's what he wanted to do. He wants to be hot, basically. Mob wants to be attractive to girls like any other middle schooler would want to be. So he joins the Body Improvement Club when they show up. I love that part. And then it's even funnier because Mob is super unathletic, so he's in this club, and then when he's actually doing club activities, he can't even take it. He almost dies from exhaustion, and he goes back and he shows them his powers and stuff. And Tomei, once she sees his powers, also kind of is like, I can use him, and then goes as far to be like, Mob, you're not even attractive. You're never going to be. You need to use your powers how I say, and you'll win a girl over. So it's just another example of someone being just like Reagan and like, I'm gonna use this kid, and just tries to find a way to take advantage of Mob. And the next part of the story, because everything leading up to this part is kind of exposition and giving you an introduction to characters. Like one that I haven't talked about yet, that I'll talk about before I move on to the next part of the story. Tsubomi is a girl that Mob has like flashbacks about, and he like loves her, and a lot of the stuff and the decisions he makes is because he wants her to be his girlfriend, and he wants to do things that he thinks she thinks is attractive. So like he joins the Body Improvement Club because he remembers he has a memory of Tsubomi where he showed her he could pick things up, and he picked up a dog and made it float around, and she was like, yeah, that's neat, but look at that kid over there, he ran fast. You know, just like elementary stuff, like, yeah, that's cool, but can you run fast though? Like, like that guy over there runs faster than you, Mob. So like, why do I care that you can pick up a dog with your mind? That was cool a second ago. So that's why he's like, well, I'll join the body improvement club. I remember she liked me, that kid that ran faster than me. But the next part of the story is kind of where the first little actual story happens, I feel like, where Mob runs into this character and he's like, I can tell something's wrong with you, buddy. It's just a cult, and Mob basically gets recruited to almost join a cult. And when he shows up, everyone's just creepy in these creepy masks, like smiley creepy masks, and they're all laughing and smiling and like just being like, yo, you should join us and laugh and smile, come on. And yeah, it's Mob and two other characters are basically being recruited into this cult, and all three of the new members are skeptical. Like it's not even like something that it's written to be unrealistic. Even all three of the people that you see, Mob, this other student from Mob's junior high that's in the journalism club, and the salary man, you know, they're all skeptical. They're standing there like, yo, what's going on? You know, nobody is this happy, especially this many people. Like there's hundreds of people here just laughing for no reason and smiling and wearing these creepy masks. And out comes Lord Dimple, and he's like, basically, I'm God and I will make anybody happy. You know, it doesn't even seem like that bad of a guy. He's drawn to be sinister looking and creepy, but honestly, if you listen to this, when you're reading the stuff he's saying, it's not that evil. He just wants people to be happy. It's just that he's forcing them to, whether they want to be happy or not, or whether they want to smile or not. He's like forcing you to do that. It goes through the process. He gets the salary man to smile. He puts the mask on the salary man, you know, and the mask makes him smile once he takes it off. And then he puts the mask on the journalist student, and you know, she's there trying to uncover what's going on for her school club. And once she gets the mask on, it also forces her to smile. So there she is. She's stuck smiling as well. And now it's just Mob. And Mob's like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, I don't think this is funny. I don't understand how you made them laugh. It doesn't make any sense. And they're like, just somebody put the fucking mask on him, basically. Like, someone slams the mask on Mob, and they're like, oh, this works. Like, they're all fully expecting him to be smiling when he takes the mask off. And just casually, he's just like, hey, can I leave? Like, he's got the mask on, he's just like, can I leave now? I'm not smiling. And he pulls it off, and he's not smiling, and everybody's like, holy shit, what is happening? And they set up this weird milk contest where basically Lord Dimple's like, I'm gonna make you smile, and to prove it, you have to take a drink of milk and hold it in your cheeks, and if any of it leaks out, then you lose. So these guys line up and they make silly faces, and Mob he holds the milk in his mouth. And they also point out that Mob really likes milk for some reason, like it's a character trait of his. It gets to the part where now it's Lord Dimple versus Mob, and he's gotta take his drink and fill his cheeks up. And when Mob takes his drink, he realizes something's wrong with the milk, like it's sour or something. And he instantly just like throws it up, like it's like leaking out of his mouth, and it's just awful. It's disgusting. And I'm guessing they point out that Mob really likes milk because this pisses him off. Like, this really made him angry. That the milk came out of his nose, and like basically that they got one over on him. Because Dimple's like, "Ha, I made you laugh, I won." And it becomes pretty quickly apparent, like, this isn't really a victory. Because Mob's like, did you win? I didn't laugh. And Dimple and everyone in the room stops laughing. Like, this is the first time everybody in the room just stops laughing, and they're just like, wait, what's going on? Like, Mob's power was so serious that he changed everyone's mind in the room. But Dimple must be have some sort of strength, because he once again makes everybody laugh. And this is when Mob finally hits 100%, because Dimple tells him to read the room, basically. Like, he's run out of options, and now he's just pissed. So his thing is just like, I'm just gonna talk shit to Mob. Like, I'm done trying to make him smile. He's just like, read the room, man. And that's like a triggering phrase for Mob, I guess, because when he says that, he has a flashback to Tsubomi also telling him to read the room. And I guess it's something that really bothered him, because he even points it out, like, why'd you say something as scary as read the room? And that's when he hits 100% and just explodes. Like, everyone in the room had tried to, like, dive on him, and they just all fly across the room and explode, and his hair is, like, floating. And Mob's entire demeanor changes. He's almost, like, scary at this point. And he's just looking at him like, make me laugh. I thought you were gonna make me laugh. And Dimple's just, like, crazy. I don't know, like, he went from like silly nice guy, like, shocked kind of thing, to, like, just fucking insane, I guess. And he's like this jacked evil spirit now, like, just muscular. And he's like, I'm just gonna kill Mob. Like, I just gotta kill him at this point. And he's like, I didn't want to. Which is another thing I liked about Dimple. Like, he purposely has pointed out now, like, several times in the story, I tried to be non-violent. Like, he's like, I wanted to take a non-violent route, but he feels like encountering Mob is like, he has to be violent now. Like, that's the only way out at this point. So he just tries to fight Mob, which is not smart. Mob, without even literally trying, just tears him apart. He doesn't really show, like, powers, I guess. Mob, he just uses his mind and just basically flings Dimple all over the place. Dimple seems to have, like, super speed, like, regeneration, and when he loses limbs, he can, like, grow them back into shapes that he likes, I guess. Like, he grows his arm back twice in two different shapes. The first one's like this sharp claw thing, and the other one's like a blade, almost like a sword he grows his arm into. I mean, it doesn't matter. He seems to, like, be able to regenerate, but Mob is just... honestly, it's almost like he's fucking with him at first when they're fighting. Because once he gets to the point where he's done with him, he just kind of steps on his head, and he's just like, what you told me you wanted to see my emotions. And he's like, this is what happens when you push me to the point where I can't control my emotions anymore. I don't know, it kind of seems like Mob's gonna, like, kind of let him survive, but Dimple's dumbass shoots a fucking laser out of his mouth at him. And, yeah, Mob just taps him on the forehead and just explodes him. Just blows him to pieces. And it's really cool piece. It's a great drawing where Mob taps him on the forehead and he just explodes into, like, a circle. And the story ends with, surprisingly, Dimple is there when Mob wakes up, and Mob is just like, yo, what the fuck are you here for? I thought you were dead. But Mob is a nice guy, and he goes to Reagan. Reagan, once again proving that he's a fake psychic, says he can't see Dimple there, so he must be weak. And Mob's just like, well, you're weak, so I don't feel like I need to kill you. You can stick around, I guess. And that's kind of where we leave off with Mob, Reagan, and Dimple. And they introduce a new character also at the end, which is Mob's brother, Ritsu. And they introduce another new character, which is a new medium named Teruki Hanazawa. He's from Black Vinegar Middle School, and he is also a psychic. Another character I don't know how important will be is the gang leader characters. They still got their own name card, which only seems to happen to characters of somewhat importance. But I guess we'll see in the next book when I begin reading it. So yeah, that is the end of Volume 1 of Mob Psycho 100. It was a lot of fun to read. Honestly, I had a lot of fun reading it. It wasn't serious. It never took itself serious at all. It was like a fun read. It just had like a very casual vibe to it. It wasn't something you had to like read super deep into to get its message or anything. And a lot of the drawings are silly. My favorite part though is the comedy. The comedy in this story was just always just really funny, and I don't know, it just landed really well. The panels are put in such a way, and the pages are laid out in such a way that like the punchlines always hit in a nice way. Not a whole lot of action, but it is a lot of the first volume was exposition and setting up and like character introduction. All the action was just at the end when he fights Dimple, but the fight was really interesting and it was really fun. But I also don't think that this is going to be a manga that is just like so focused on fighting that's the only important thing. It seems like the characters and the comedy are gonna be like a main focus on this story, and I think kind of the story of Mob trying to just fit in and be a normal person and kind of do the stuff that he wants to do instead of what other people want to do is kind of what the story is going to be. It's kind of an interesting take on like if someone with superpowers didn't really care that they have superpowers, like how it would be. Like obviously the story is super unrealistic, but I mean if you really thought about it, if you had superpowers but you didn't really care and you didn't want to use them, the world really wouldn't allow you to do that. Like everyone around you would still try to exploit you no matter what you tried to do. And I feel like this story kind of follows that, just obviously like on a smaller scale because he's a junior high kid, so it's like he's being used on a smaller scale, but it's still a story that's it's pretty unique. I'm just kind of excited to see where it goes, and I really like the characters. The characters are super funny. Mob is a really great protagonist, and I really enjoy that he's kind of just like quiet and kind of emotionless usually when you see him, but like it's kind of only on the outside. That's the thing. Like I feel like a lot of the characters see him as like someone that's doesn't really have like a lot of emotions and doesn't seem to care, but I feel like on the inside he does care a lot, and that's something that like he struggles with kind of expressing, it seems like. And then once he can't control it anymore and he lets it go, his powers also like seem to explode. So I'm kind of excited to see one explore that aspect and like the psyche of Mob. I want to know more about like his internal struggles, and the story that he goes through seems like it's going to be really interesting. So yeah, that was my review of Mob Psycho 100 Volume 1. This is my first review on my channel. I hope to hopefully just finish the entire series and do a review on each volume of Mob Psycho. I think there's only 8, so it shouldn't be that bad. I mean, it was a really fun read, so I don't see why not. Well, that's all for this one, and I'll catch you next time.